It's a holiday today, 4th of July. And then welcome once again to my show because I belong. I've been privileged enough to have a very good friend of mine whom I met playing football. Decided to just do me this honor by educating my people a bit about where he comes from. So he goes by the name Oliver, and then he's from the United States. So Oliver, welcome to my show and welcome to Ghana eventually.
Thank you. Grazie.
Okay, so coincidentally, today happens to be the day the Americans got independence
Yes.
from the British.
Yeah, same with Ghana.
No, today.
No, I mean we both fought them,
Yeah,
got rid of them. Yeah.
yeah. So I would like you to shed a little bit of light on your independence struggle from
Yes.
the British.
It was called the Revolutionary War, and so it began because. Do you know the 7 Years' War?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, England and France were fighting in North America for about 7 years, and it's also called the French and Indian War. But essentially, they were fighting over land disputes in Europe or something. I don't know. It's some old war. But that made the British very bankrupt. And so to pay for the war, they taxed the American colonies a lot. And we revolted because of taxation. No taxation without representation. That's where our democracy came from. We always want representation.
Yeah.
And so we fought them for another, I think, 7 years. George Washington, the founding fathers, those heroes. And then we got our independence July 4th, 1776.
1776.
Yeah.
That's a pretty long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then Ghana was March 6th, right?
Yeah, so 1957.
Yeah, in Nkrumah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so.
Yeah. So your struggle was basically because you were not getting representation.
Yes.
Aside the taxes you were paying, you people didn't feel represented.
Yeah, they were happy to pay the taxes, but not without representation.
Okay.
So, and the tea tax was the biggest one.
The what?
It was a tax on tea.
Tea.
Yes.
Okay.
So we drink a lot of tea and coffee.
So that's where you get your tea culture from
Yes,
the British.
yes, the British. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So all in all, you can say that both the Americans and the Ghanaians we have a common history as to
Yes.
who colonized us.
Mhm.
Okay. That's impressive. So let me ask you. There are about 54 countries in Africa.
Yes.
You are an exchange program student.
Mhm.
Why did you choose Ghana as your destination?
It's for several reasons. So I take African history classes in the U.S. It's my major, and I had to do a paper on any African nation I wanted, and I chose to do Ghana and Nkrumah. So I did a paper on the Black Stars and the Real Republicans, the old football team here. That made me very interested in Ghana and about its history, and so I just wanted to come here and explore it. And I always heard Ghana was very safe and very welcoming and friendly. So
That's why you chose Ghana.
yes, and it's been very good so far. Today's my last day, so
Welcome to motherland
yeah,
once again.
yeah, it's been very nice.
4th of July.
Yes.
I want to understand something. That was the day Americans got independence from the British.
Yes.
Yes. I want to. You are from the US, so I want you to tell me first-hand experience. What does 4th of July mean to a black person in America?
Oh, I don't really know. It's very complicated over there right now. Because we're all American, no matter your race. Even if you're new immigrant, old immigrant, we're all immigrants in America too. And so, I think everybody is proud of their country, but that country also has a complicated history. So, nowadays everybody they shoot their fireworks, they celebrate together. It's a day for everyone to come together, no matter what. But yeah, I think for them it may be a bit more complicated than it is for white people. Because for us, we drink and we party and we shoot off fireworks, and they do too. Everyone does. But I think the American flag maybe means something different to them.
Yes, because I recall I watched this spoken word by a certain guy, and then he was talking about I pledge allegiance
Yes.
to the American flag. But then the question he posed afterwards was, but for what?
Yeah. So it's complicated. For instance, some people now in the African American community they might take a knee during the Pledge of Allegiance, and that's very controversial now. I don't know why, but they see it as a way to kind of pay their own respects,
Yeah.
but to also remember all the bad things that have happened, and so it's just complicated. I don't know. Yeah, I wish I could tell you more, but I may not be the best person to ask about that.
Okay, no problem. So, the Ghana US relationship. You've been
Hmm.
here for virtually a month,
A little
right?
over, yeah.
Okay, so and then you were a history student.
I am.
So, would you be kind enough to tell us about some similarities in our historical context between Ghana and then the US? There's historical similarities.
Well, I don't know. There's
Aside we sharing um, the same colonial masters and then be part of the Commonwealth,
yes,
we are also part of the United Nations.
yes.
Yes, and then a couple of bilateral trade agreements and all of that.
Hmm.
But as a history student, maybe we can find some more similarities, something deep embedded between the US Ghana relationship.
I don't know. I don't know because by the time the U.S. was its own country, I don't think Ghana was a colony
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so the histories are very different, I think. But I know for Ghana's Black Star on your flag,
Yeah.
that came from Marcus Garvey, who was an American.
Okay.
He had his own private shipping line
Yeah.
called the Black Star Shipping Line,
Okay.
and its goal was to bring back people in the Americas back to Africa.
Pan Africanist.
Yeah, Pan Africanists. So Sierra Leone, Liberia, he wanted to bring people back to Africa if he could. And so I heard Nkrumah got the Black Star from that.
Whoa.
So that's cool. That's
That's
cool.
cool. But then your interpretation is quite different from my interpretation.
Okay.
So from your perspective, you are saying the black star on our flag as a representative or being you got that from Marcus Garvey.
Yes, that's
But
Nkrumah was influenced by him.
okay, definitely yes, absolutely.
Okay,
It was
okay.
simply Garvey, yes. No doubt about that. But to the best of my knowledge, I thought we got the black star in our flag because Nkrumah was trying to say something to the world about Ghana
Hmm.
because we became the first sub-Saharan African country
Yes,
to be
yes.
independent.
Hmm.
See, in his bid to portray Ghana to the
Hmm.
world, he tried to incorporate the black star into our flag
Yes, yes.
to signify the lone shining star
Hmm.
in Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then your explanation is also not far off. Then I've heard other people also attributing the black star to there was this one, the first black professor, the first black scholar. He was in Germany. He was called Anton Ephraim Amu, the first black scholar ever. So some also attributing the black star in our flag to him and all of that. You see, there are different sides to the story. We wouldn't know which one to believe, but they are all good. Um, you've been here, you've experienced our culture a little bit, and then you were born into your culture, definitely.
Yeah.
So, what cultural similarities do you see between Ghanaians and the Americans?
Well, to start, you people are much nicer. Ghanaians are much nicer than Americans.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah, it's very nice here. Similarities.
Yeah,
I think both cultures are very active. Ghanaians more so.
okay,
Like we play, soccer, football like this all the time, or other sports like baseball, American football. So I think both groups are very active.
okay.
And I'm trying to think of more. Is there anything you want in particular? Any?
No,
No, okay.
just anything from how you see it.
Yeah, I think
How do things get done over there? Ghana here, it's I wouldn't say solely or purely, but predominantly based on relationship.
I see every over there. It's very everything's about money,
Okay?
and then time is money. So everything is very fast. Like we talk fast, we do things fast. Um,
So you don't have the time to meeting your friend, bro. How you doing? How's the family? How's everything going? How's your nana? How's your
sometimes,
sometimes you do
but
it.
not as much. No. So over there, it's very stressful. Everyone's very worried about money.
Why is it so? Is it because you are capitalist or is it because you are all money oriented? I don't get it.
It's because it's very expensive over there.
In America,
Even for Americans, it's very expensive.
that's not the picture they've painted for us here. America is rosy.
It is, but it's it's hard there for some people, and so they're always trying to get more money and just keep up.
I still don't get it. How is it hard there?
As in,
Your
as
currency
in,
is good. It's a global currency.
it is. But for example, I work at a coffee shop.
Okay.
I make $200 every week, but my rent is $600,
Okay.
and so that's half my paycheck every month gone for rent, just paying for housing. Then I have to pay for groceries, I have to pay for school. I have to pay, be with my friends every now and then, pay for food. And so, because we're so capitalist over there, everything's so expensive, it's hard to kind of keep up sometimes. And because here you have street food,
Yeah.
which is a bit cheaper, and everyone can kind of eat it. But in America, we don't have street food. It's fast food or a nice restaurant or grocery shopping. So everything there is very expensive. Yeah. So
Wow. This
at the moment, it's
this is insightful.
yeah,
Because for all along I was thinking, bro, because America has been painted to us as the land of opportunities.
it is. But we live good there. We do live good. I'm very appreciative of that. But to maintain that kind of quality of life, you have to be very, you know, always going for opportunities.
Okay.
Yeah, always going and going and going.
Okay. So looking at the way the frequency at which people do things,
Hmm.
the liberty with which they do things, people move very freely here.
Hmm.
Everything is almost as if no one is controlling anyone.
Hmm.
I'm talking about Ghana here.
Yes.
Is it the same in America?
No. um, like I said, you're very friendly here. Everyone, they'll stop and talk to you. In the U.S., people they're not like that. They don't like to be stopped really. Yeah, they kind of think of it as kind of like you're bothering them.
Wow.
Yeah, unless they're older. If they're an older person, they may be more, they maybe want to talk to you because they get lonely. But people there are very, in their own little bubble, we call it. And so we're not very leisurely, most of us. We might be on weekends or on certain days of the year, but yeah, we don't, you know, like I heard you have Ghanaian time,
Yeah.
as in you can kind of, be a little late and
Yeah. Yeah.
take it easy.
Yeah.
And we don't typically have, like, you have to be on time for everything. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's just we're very busy. We're very busy people.
Wow.
We like to stay busy.
You have to stay busy.
Yeah, there's a mental health crisis there
Hmm.
because people they don't know how to relax. It makes them kind of antsy
Yeah.
just to stay still.
Yeah. Because if you're always busy, it will definitely mess with your mental health.
Yeah, so
There's no way two ways about that.
yeah,
Wow. America, the great America.
yeah, but it's still great. It's just we keep it busy.
Keep you busy.
Like
Okay.
I'm 20
You're 20.
and I already have a job. I'm about to finish college. I already have a thesis project to finish. Like I'm doing, I'm just it's a lot.
Yeah, so that's one thing I like about your system, the
Hmm.
American culture and all of that. The the kids or the people, the citizens don't
Mhm.
really stress because there is employment,
Mhm.
and then I learned if you're unemployed, it means you don't want to get employment because the jobs are bound in
Mhm.
America and all of that. That's one thing I like, and I would wish my people, as
Mhm.
in Ghana or Africa in Africa as a whole, will have that kind of characteristic. But it's rather unfortunate Africa isn't like that. But we are coming up. We are coming.
Yes,
We'll
yes,
get there. We'll get
definitely.
there. We'll get there. So your academic experience in US
Mhm.
and then your academic experience in Ghana, is it something to be proud about, or you can clearly see America is way super ahead,
No, no,
light years ahead of Ghana?
no, 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 no. It's hard. So the classes we took here were only for 1 month,
Okay.
so they were not very. Um, you can only do so much in 1 month. So it was very easy. It was very,
Very easy here in Ghana.
yes.
Okay.
But I've asked around. I've asked other professors and students who have been to the U.S. and Ghana for longer periods, and they've all told me it's about the same. I think we maybe have more homework in the U.S.
More homework in the US.
Yes, but I heard you guys have more readings. You have to read more here.
Wait, more homework in the US.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Wait, let's go back to elementary school days.
Oh, elementary school days. Okay.
So during here in Ghana, during elementary school days, you should take during my time we were taking about 8 or 9 subjects.
Mhm.
You do English, you do social studies,
Mhm.
you do mathematics, science, you do so like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
eight courses. Do you do same in America?
For elementary school.
Yes. Do you study ever like plenty courses, or you people are subjected to you are limited to some courses within your interest?
We would do so for every state. It's a little bit different. There's 50 states, but for my elementary school, it was you take your math, your English, reading, writing, all that grammar, everything, and then you would take some kind of fine art,
Okay.
like might be gym or an art class, or are they even doing programming now? I don't know. And then after that, you would alternate every few weeks between your science and your history.
Okay.
So that's how it works there. I don't know though. Yeah, that's just for my state.
Okay.
So you do a lot of things, yeah, in elementary school.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So the education, the quality of education here in Ghana
Mhm.
isn't so below what is in the
No,
US.
no, I think it's similar, very very
Similar.
similar. Because here you guys have to learn, a second language. You have to learn English.
Yeah.
We Most Americans speak one language.
I see.
If I speak English, a bit of French, and if you want to learn a second language in the U.S., you can, but that's seen as something to do in college.
In college.
Yeah, or on your own time. They don't really teach it in elementary. They may teach it in high school, but yeah, you guys have to learn, second, third languages. We don't have to do that.
Okay.
So I think in that way, Ghana's maybe ahead of the U.S.
In your projections.
Yes, yes, because Americans speak English, and that's it. That's all we speak. We don't speak, Tree or Fonte or Ewe.
No, isn't it because you people are homogeneous
Mm-hmm.
ethnically,
Um, Not ethnically, but linguistically.
linguistically?
Yeah, there's not a lot of dialects. I'd say
Yeah,
like there's English. There's a very little bit of French.
and a bit of Spanish.
There's a lot of Spanish now. Yes, so more people are learning Spanish.
Okay,
So
okay.
I chose French though,
You choose French. All
because you
right.
can choose French or Spanish.
Okay. So, since you've been in Ghana, what skill or knowledge have you learned in the Ghanaian context?
How to bargain?
How to bargain?
Yes, yes, very important here.
You don't bargain in the US?
No,
What?
you cannot bargain in the U.S. Everything is fixed.
No, you don't see.
You can for like a thrift store maybe, like an antique store maybe,
Yeah.
or if you're getting your car fixed.
Okay.
But for the most part, you cannot bargain there for anything. You know.
I'm now beginning to understand why you say America is expensive. You don't
Yeah.
bargain.
No, you cannot.
Everything is fixed.
If you go to a store, food, anything, yeah, it's fixed.
So is it like the price runs through all of the stores, or different stores have different prices which you can
Yes.
bargain? Different stores, different prices.
Mhm.
Yet you can't bargain.
You cannot
If you're
bargain.
going to buy a shoe, the price is fixed. You don't
Mhm.
bargain.
Yes, yes. So we have different stores like Walmart, Publix,
Foot
Earth Fare.
Locker,
Yeah.
the dollar store.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so certain stores are cheaper, and certain stores are more expensive.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So you've learned the bargaining skill here in
Yes, very
Ghana.
important, especially for me.
Okay. So living here, how has it challenged your virtual existence and all of that?
uh, my existence. What do you mean?
I mean, how's your living?
I see. I see. Okay. There's a lot of walking here, but I enjoy it. I like walking a lot
Okay.
and getting outside. Um,
So you're not used to walking back in the US, but here you are being challenged to walk.
yeah, I walk over there, but not as much as here. You know, because everyone in the U.S. has cars, so we drive a lot, and so. But walking here has been very nice. I enjoy it.
So between your driving and you walking, which one do you think is better?
Walking, walking.
Walking is better.
Yes, yes. Well, for your health.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then I've been reading about other people, other cultures, and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Then I realized that in a building, a corporate building, the architect, in their wisdom, will intentionally incorporate some stairs, a little bit of exercise, and all of this, so that
Yeah.
even if we are not getting to walk more as we do here in Ghana, but at the end of your 9 to 5 or 8 to 3, or whatever your shift is, you would have maybe done the exact or a similar quantum of exercise like an African would do.
No, because we have elevators everywhere, so people don't even take stairs now. Sometimes I go into a staircase and it looks old, like it hasn't been used in a long time.
Wow.
There's dust everywhere. I'm thinking, wow, we're so lazy.
The Americans are lazy.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So don't you think it's a derivative of technology? Technology
Yes,
is
it
making
is.
the world lazy.
Yes, with AI especially now.
AI.
Yeah, that's big.
Because it's making people refuse to think. And then recently, professors from major universities in UK and in US staged a demonstration against AI because it's actually making students lazy.
Yes.
And the Americans are no exception.
No.
All right. So you've been here for a while. You know about you've witnessed some of our customs and our traditions. Which one do you find similar to the American tradition, American customs?
Everyone here says hello. Like I'll be walking the street and everyone says hi to me.
Okay.
So that's pretty American as well. Over there, everyone they'll say hi to you, but they won't talk to you if that makes sense.
In America.
They may wave. They'll wave to you, they'll say hello, and then they'll keep walking. But here, people stop and actually talk to
Yeah,
you.
because here it's actually disrespectful to say hello, hi to someone and then continue walking.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's disrespectful.
I've done that. Sorry.
It's so disrespectful.
I don't mean to be disrespectful.
Because you know, I've seen you, Oliver. Hi, Oliver. You be like hello. I expect to exchange some pleasantries or maybe ask you a question or something. That's why I'm speaking to you in the first place.
Oh,
So
I
I've
see.
talked to you, Oliver, hi, and then you keep walking. I'll be like, why don't you think?
Yeah,
Can't you see me here? I'm here. You have to stop and talk to me.
Yeah.
It's part of our culture, it's our tradition.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
I wish we had that. Because
you are way past that. You can't have that.
Yeah, we're walking into class or work. We go, oh hello, then we keep walking, and we just Don't think about it.
Wow, America.
Yeah.
Okay, so which of these? We have so many customs and traditions.
hmm
Which one do you find intriguing?
Intriguing. It's not. I learned about this in my history class,
Mhm.
and I understand it's not very popular anymore. But there's coming of age ceremonies here. I've heard. People may do dances or things like that. So that's been very interesting. They've kept some of that local cultural history. Because in the U.S. we don't have stuff like we have Native Americans, the indigenous people there, and they're really struggling keeping their traditions going and old religions going. So I think it's cool that Ghanaians still managed to do it.
Okay, so before you came to Ghana,
hmm
I understand Westerners have so many misconceptions and stereotypes about
Yeah,
Africa as a continent.
yeah,
And then some people even think Africa is a single country.
yes, yeah.
So what were some of the misconceptions and stereotypes you had in your mind before coming to Africa?
I've been pretty informed about because my major's African history, so I've been
Okay.
pretty good about learning as much about it as I can. But I can tell you what my peers thought and what they asked me. They were worried about getting sick. Um, they didn't know where Ghana was on a map, but they were coming here, so I don't know why they came here.
Yeah, you know Ghana was in the center of the world.
No, they didn't know that. They didn't know that. So they don't know their geography. They don't know how big Africa is. Because some people think Africa's tiny, but it's the second largest continent in the world.
Yeah,
It's huge,
yeah.
and so people don't know, how much wealth is here. They don't know. They think Africa's a poor place. It's yeah,
They don't
it's
know.
not good. I don't like those people, but that's just the way they think because they've been misinformed
Yeah.
by old stereotypes. So yeah, but no, I've had a very great time here. Um, I think whatever is in the U.S. you can find here in some way. Like a nice coffee shop or you know, yeah. So I don't know.
So
I think it's a beautiful country
beautiful country.
and very very
Yeah, by
nice.
our standard, Ghana is a beautiful country.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the security comparison in Africa.
hmm
I mean, in Ghana to be specific,
Yeah.
and in
Yeah.
the United States of America.
I don't know. So recently, our president Donald Trump said states like Ghana were not safe, and so Ghanaians can no longer come to the U.S.,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
which I think is stupid. Because in the U.S. we have very strict security policies. Everyone has an ID card. I can get mine now, but everyone has an ID card, a number for their name. Very thorough taxation policies. Some ID card may look like this. So yeah, there's a little code on the back of it. So it's very strict there about everything, which is good. However, we also have gun violence,
Gun violence.
which is very bad right now,
Yeah,
and they refuse to fix it.
yeah.
So people say, places in Africa are not safe, but I felt very safe here everywhere I've been. Even as a foreigner who doesn't really know their location very well every day, I've never worried about being robbed at gunpoint, for instance, or being shot at.
Well, is it really rampant? Is it frequent in the US?
It's not very frequent, but I had one incident where I was driving home from school, and I saw on the news later that the car behind me got shot at. Yeah, so in a road rage incident.
Wow.
So it's there's gun violence there, and it's very real. So people say places in Africa aren't safe. Well, I don't think the U.S. is safe either.
Hmm.
So I think Ghanaians are nicer. They're more welcoming. Um, I haven't seen any real violence here, and I've seen plenty of violence in the U.S. So I don't know. I don't know.
So, you see, everywhere you go, I believe that anywhere you go at some particular point in time, you are either going to be influenced by where you are,
Mhm.
or you bring your influence from where you are to where you are.
Yes. Mhm.
So it's either you change something or something changes you.
Mhm.
Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So has your time in Ghana had any influence on your perspective of America?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you
I,
share?
I love my country very much, but I see that we're too in our own head. Americans only think about America,
Yeah.
and we don't like to connect with people anymore. We're very we're like this,
Mm-hmm.
in our composure
Mm-hmm.
as a country now.
Because sorry to cut you.
Mhm.
In the international space, some countries really blame you for the Americans for the emergence of the Second World War,
Really?
because you have practiced this isolationist
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
kind of ideology.
Yeah.
You didn't want to be part of anything, but then once Hitler was doing his imperialistic things, and then the Americans stepped in the
Mm-hmm.
Second World War. When initially you people didn't want to join the war.
No. Mm-mm.
Do you know what triggered your involvement in the war?
Yes. Yes.
Was when Japan
Japan. Yeah. Pearl Harbor.
bombed Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
So if Japan hadn't attacked America, America wouldn't have interfered in the global war at that moment, because you felt you didn't want to involve yourself in the Asian and then the European war. You felt you were too distant from the world.
Yeah.
So that some people even say Americans are cocky.
They can be. Like we can be. Yeah.
So yes, that was just by the way. You were saying something.
Yeah. I mean, the Second World War. Obviously, that was a long time ago,
Yeah, very
so I can't speak for the people back then. But a part of it was the U.S. was going through the Great Depression,
yeah.
and so it was a very rough time there. And then people back then didn't know what Hitler was doing. I think if we knew the extent of what he was doing, then we would have joined much sooner.
No, I think Americans know.
Maybe they did. Maybe I don't know. What they teach us in school is that we did not know until we got involved.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. It's all about who said what.
I don't believe that.
But that's what they teach us over there. So yeah, and now Donald Trump, he believes he wants to go back to that era where the
Make
U.S. is.
America great again.
Yeah, well, I hate that because America's already great. So why can't we make everything great?
No. So I understand President Trump to some extent. He wants us to be a global hegemon, the global superpower, the only superpower in the world.
Yes, but is he doing that to help the world or to help America?
To help America.
That's the problem. He's not trying to help the world. He's trying to help his own people,
Yeah.
and that's not good. That's bad. That's very bad.
Are you familiar with the theory of realism?
Realism,
Yeah.
a little bit.
So the essential points, the whole bit about realism or
Mhm.
statehood, is to make your state great, powerful,
Yes, yes.
more self-sufficient.
Hmm.
So what happened to the other countries in the world is no problem of yours. So from that standpoint, I totally agree with President Trump.
Really? Okay, okay.
But on a humanitarian basis, I disagree with him.
I think the problem is after World War II, America agreed to be a world leader,
Yes,
and now Donald Trump is saying, no, we can't do that for you anymore.
absolutely.
And so the problem is, if we start backing out of the world and we give up on the world to help ourselves, that's selfish. It's selfish, and it's not gonna. In the long run, it's not gonna help anybody.
Exactly.
It's just gonna make things worse. Like in Ukraine, in the Middle East. I'm not saying America should be doing everything, but we should be doing something. Banning 35 countries from entering, Ghana included. It makes no sense. I don't.
It doesn't make sense.
It's
That bit is wrong.
it's very wrong. And so, make America again. Sure, why not? But you can do it in a way without putting everyone else down.
Yeah.
You don't have to make America great by climbing on top of others. If that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that
Okay,
ideology.
okay. I don't know. Yeah.
I like that.
I'm just a,
I like
a
that.
kid though. I don't know.
Okay, so what's in Ghana
hmm
really surprises you?
The culture. Um,
How?
people are just friendly here. I don't know.
And it surprises you?
Yes, yes. I don't know. It's shocking how
Wow.
because everyone makes time for me.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's because I'm a foreigner because people are just like that here.
Yeah, you're just like that.
Yeah, but everyone's very accepting of you. You know, I can play football. I'm not very good at football,
Yeah.
but people will say, okay, okay, you're doing good, you're doing well, you're doing well. Or they'll give me tips, so they'll teach me some treat. You know, they'll take time out of their day to just chat with me and tell me about their history, which is very cool, very cool. Yeah, so I like the way Ghanaians are so open and just they want to teach you everything they can.
Yeah.
So it's very very nice.
It's just part of our upbringing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
part of the culture. So
Yeah.
it's very good. It's
You know,
also oh sorry.
you don't want to see your brother or your sister in trouble.
Yes.
So if I know how to do this and I see you can't do it,
hmm
I've got to teach you.
Yes.
It's just all part of our beautiful culture.
Yeah. And America used to be that way, but not anymore. I think.
Because
I don't know. I don't know if it's just capitalism and everyone's too busy, or if I think politics have also made things tense now. So people are just very, like I said, very closed off. But I don't know. It's not like that anymore in the U.S. People they don't stop for you.
so your time in Ghana, your 1 month in Ghana,
Yes.
the experience, has it had any real influence on say your future plans?
I don't know. I wanted to come here. I had no expectations. I just wanted to see what it was like to be in an African country. And 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 so sorry, I lost my train of thought. And so
You said you didn't have any expectation you were coming down here in Ghana.
no, so I wanted to be very open, learn everything I could, and just take everything as it was, and very openly. And so I don't know. I may go to graduate school and maybe learn more about African history. It's kind of re-inspired me to keep learning.
Okay,
So yeah,
so that's one of the positive Ghana has left on you.
yeah. I want
To
to
inspire
keep
you
learning and keep coming back here.
Okay,
Yeah.
so for future exchange program students,
hmm
what would you like to say to them about Ghana?
Learn how to bargain, and you're gonna have a great time.
Ghana,
Yes,
Ghana.
they'll have a great time here.
Okay,
I recommend it
you comment it.
very strongly. Yeah.
What has been your favorite food?
Favorite food? Oh, I see. Watch it,
Watch it.
watch it, or conconte,
Conconte.
conconte. Yeah.
Conconte.
They're both very good.
Okay.
Both very good.
So I want to have a list of five individuals in Ghana.
hmm
So I want to test your knowledge.
Okay.
Okay. If you can associate them to their right industry.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Let's try.
Okay.
Let's try. Okay. So who's the president of Ghana?
I looked this up earlier, but I forgot.
No.
But I know the Asante Hine.
What's his name?
Is it Ose the second?
Say Tutu.
Ose Tutu the second.
Okay.
I know him.
Okay. You don't know the president of Ghana?
I forgot. I forgot.
How?
I forgot. I don't know.
How?
I know Nkrumah. That's the way. I know Nkrumah. I know Rawlings,
Rollins.
but I don't know the current president. I forgot.
Do you know Sarkodie?
Sorry?
Sarkodie.
Sakode. Okay, okay.
Who's he?
Is that the current president?
No.
No, oh, I thought.
Current president is John Mahama.
Oh, okay, I thought you were telling me.
No.
Jean Mahama.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Do you know Shatawale?
It's familiar, but no. No.
Do you know the dancehall king?
No.
Stoneboy?
Stoneboy.
Yeah.
Is that an artist?
Yes.
Okay. Is he a musician?
Yes.
Okay, I've heard of him.
You've heard of him. So which artist in Ghana do you know?
Which artist do I know? I met this guy called Wizard.
What?
Wizard.
Wizard.
He calls himself Wizard. He's a local rapper.
Okay.
I met him.
Okay.
He was funny. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Is it high life music? Yeah, I don't really listen to high life. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, and then once you mentioned you support Asante Kotoko.
Yes, well, I've been to a game of theirs.
Okay.
Yeah,
And you love them.
they're good. They're good.
They're good.
I don't know them that well. I can't. Yeah, I don't know any of their players.
All right.
But it was a good game. I had a good time there.
Okay. So let's conclude on this. Your overall experience in Ghana, how you've seen Ghana, and then what would you say to people who have misconceptions about Ghana? Speak to them.
Misconceptions.
Yeah.
That's a big question. Let me think. I would say it's a very good place. It's a very good place. You know, it's very clean, very nice, very beautiful. It's the most beautiful place I've ever seen. I went to Shy Hill. It was unbelievable how beautiful it was there. So it's a beautiful place. Everyone's very kind, very friendly, very very welcoming of you, no matter who you are. Even as a brony. As a brony, they're very welcoming.
That preferential treatment they give to you, do you find it interesting, or do you kind of find it some way?
What?
The Obroni treatments they give to you.
No, I felt like it's been very good so far.
Okay.
I've had a couple of incidences where it was said to me and I felt like it was a little negative. But I understood why.
How do you understand?
The first time was at the Kotoko game.
Okay.
Because Kotoko won the game from a very questionable penalty. Controversial penalty. And I was wearing their jersey. And so people were angry because they were saying, you know, Brony, look what your team did. Look what the team you're supporting did.
It was no fault of yours.
It was not, but I think they were angry because as a foreigner, I was coming to their games wearing this jersey, and then the team whose jersey I was wearing did something kind of bad. And so I understood why, because it was the FA Cup final. So maybe, you know, they've been watching this tournament for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I come in on the very last day, I take a jersey, I support a team at the last second, and then that team wins unfairly. So I understood why there. And the other time, I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was I was at a market, and this guy came up behind me. He like grabbed my hair. And he did this with my hair, and he's like, "Oh, Brony, come here. Look at my wares." And it was just very, very odd. I don't know.
Very odd. Why would someone ever do that?
He wanted to hold my hair, so he ran his fingers through it from behind. I did not like that one. I did not like it.
Oh, well, very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was. And he kept calling me Trump, and I said no, I'm not. I don't like Trump. So, but for the most part, if I get called Brony, it's typically pretty good. So,
Okay.
So I don't mind Brony. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel Africans or Ghanaians are racist?
No. No. So, for instance, you know, I went to Cape Coast Castle at Cape Coast, and I toured it, and some awful things were done there. But from my understanding, Ghanaians kind of see, you know, the past as the past.
Yeah.
They want to move past it,
Yeah.
and just let everyone be good.
Let it go, yeah.
Yeah. So, no, I think Americans are more racist. You know, not that in the sense that, you know, some of my friends in my tour group came here, and some of them were always talking about race. They're always talking about, you know, white people did this and that. And I don't know, in America right now, race is just everyone thinks about it right now.
Yeah.
For better or worse. Because I think, you know, talking about race is good. But sometimes if it's all you talk about,
Yeah. Yeah.
you kind of get in your own head about it.
Yeah. True.
And that's when stereotypes kind of, and prejudice.
Yeah. Prejudice.
So, but no, I don't think Canadians are racist at all. And yeah, I don't mind Brony. I think it's very good that, they're willing to still welcome people like me to Americans to their country.
So your overall assessment of Ghana, all in all, out of 10, how will you assess Ghana?
10.
10.
10. Very good. Very good food, very nice people, very nice environment and nature. I think the lifestyle and food here is more healthy than America.
Okay.
Like the fruit here is so ripe.
Organic.
Yeah, the mango, the pineapple, it's so sweet and so big.
Okay.
It tastes very, very. I feel lighter.
Yeah.
I feel light. Like I can kind of do everything I want to.
Okay. So you are saying Ghana is healthier than America in
Yes,
terms of food.
much healthier.
So thank you, Oliver.
Thank you for having me, Pedase.
Thank you.
I hope to be back.
Sure.
Yes,
sure,
yes.
Definitely. Back. Definitely.
Yeah.
How do you think about Ghanaian women?
Canadian women.
Yeah.
Oh, they're very nice.
Very nice.
I have a girlfriend back home, so I didn't really.
Oh,
I don't. Yeah.
okay.
But they've been very nice.
See, yeah, that faithful boyfriend, yeah.
No, not here. Not right now. Not right now. I have a girlfriend, but my roommate, he's been talking to many Ghanaian women, and some locals got mad at him for talking a little bit too much to women.
Yeah, because you have to protect our own.
Yeah, they kind of accused him of like stealing.
Yeah, stealing our girls. Yeah.
Yeah, stealing your girls. So
they are right.
You think the same way?
Yeah, they are
okay.
right. They are right.
So if a foreigner comes here, you don't like it if.
No, we like it, but don't do it too much.
Okay, I see. Yes, that's understandable.
Yeah, don't do it too much.
Yeah. So, but I've talked to a few. They've been nice. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I left it there.
All right. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on my show. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you for the insightful conversation.
Yes, of course. Thank you for having me. Yeah. So, thank you. Grazie.